Everything old is new again. Would it surprise you to know that phrase itself was written by an author who died nearly 3 centuries ago, and yet it still rings true today, perhaps no more so than when it comes to maritime warfare. You don't have to look beyond today's headlines to know the open waters of the world will likely play a large role in America's next conflict. All you need to do is understand what's happening with the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in the Red Sea, or Ukraine and Russia squaring off in the Black Sea, and of course there's China and its ambitions when it comes to Taiwan. As we've reported before on Weapons and Warfare, American shipbuilding is at a marked disadvantage right now when it comes to Uncle Sam's near-peer adversaries. And while leadership is working to change that, it's not a problem that's easily solved.
As you can see, the demand signal for the larger Navy that we have out there. We have 88 ships under contract. We have 66 under construction. There's 57 if you look across the fit up. We know we need a larger Navy. Every study since 2016 has shown that. And I think the most effective way to work on that right now is to invest in our industrial base.
All of that makes maritime innovation incredibly important. Fortunately, several defense contractors are bringing new and innovative solutions to the table. Companies like JFD with their tactical diving vehicles and Heffring Marine's AI-driven software have identified a need and are working to deliver their products to operators in need of their expertise. While its Carrier Seal and Shadow Seal may look like something straight from a James Bond movie, there's nothing fictional about them.
They are designed to take people into an area discreetly, without any sort of degree of detection, and the quieter and the more sneaky you can do that, the better.
Equipped for a crew of 8, the Carrier Seal can carry out over-the-horizon missions. With a surface cruising speed of 30 knots, which is a little less than 35 miles per hour, and a subsurface speed of 5 knots, the Carrier can not only deliver operators and their equipment, it can also be used for surveillance, target acquisition, and reconnaissance operations.
So you're scoping out where you might be taking in a troop or a beach landing, simply keeping an eye on the enemy, understanding what they're up to, what they might be doing, looking for sensors, detecting what other sort of electronic warfare type signals might be out there, through to actually delivering a team who are effectively leading a mission.
For missions a little smaller in scope, the Shadow fits the bill. Built for a crew of 4, it's capable of operating at nearly 80 feet below the surface and, much like the Carrier version, can even be deployed by parachute.
The Shadow Seal that you can see over my shoulder here is a direct reproduction of the original Commando Sleeping Beauty that was designed by the British in the Second World War, just with massive steroids. It's like huge range, much more sensors, all the crazy comms kits and cameras and all that sort of stuff that you'd expect. So it's fully electric, and it goes a hell of a long way, and it goes very quietly.
But what about getting the most out of vessels that are already in service? That's where Heffring Marine comes in. The Icelandic startup brought their Intelligent Marine Assistance System, also known as IMOS, to Soft Week 2024.
This box here is a computer that will essentially connect to all instruments on board, will connect to the engines on board, will connect to the navigation systems, weather station, any sensors. But then we also place our own sensor, which is an inertial measurement unit, so it'll capture the full range of motions of the vessel as in real time.
But it's what Heffring's tech can do with the data that makes it an intriguing option for operators. Using real-time information, their AI model can factor in everything that's happening around the boat to optimize the pilot's speed for maximum fuel efficiency. Heffring says their data shows its fuel-optimized speed guidance and analysis can reduce fuel consumption by up to 25%.
At a certain point, going faster, that extra knot that you're trying to go, will start costing quite a lot in fuel consumption. And it's sometimes, and usually, it's not really worth it. Whether you're doing 32 knots or 34 knots might not matter that much for the mission profile in general, but it will matter quite a bit for your fuel consumption. And so The AI model that's on board here is continuously trying to figure out what does that curb look like in real time, based on the environment that you're operating in right now, based on how the vessel is moving, what the engines are doing in order to react to that.
The next part of the IMOS equation is passenger safety, not only helping pilots adjust course for bad weather, keeping the craft and crew out of harm's way, but optimizing speed to make for a smoother ride, minimizing the ride's impact to the bodies on board.
There was a former U.S. Marine Corps guy who was here yesterday, completely sold on what we're doing here because he recognizes the need for it. So 23 years old when he started out on high-speed boats at the U.S. Marine Corps, and today at 45 realizes how big of an impact that had on his body, being out there, being exposed to the environment, being exposed to the heavy impacts that happen out there when you're doing high speed and you're jumping off a wave consistently. Now has a injured back, bad knees. Like it takes its toll on people.
No word yet from Heffring on any deals within the DoD, but in the last 6 months, they did reach agreements with the Icelandic Association for Search and Rescue, Safe Boats International, and secured a new round of funding for more than €2 million.